Greetings everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of a new series playing Anno 1800. If you would like to skip the game overview and also this setup, please use YouTube chapters. Welcome everybody to the May miniseries marathon. So before I start, I will give you the little overview about what this game is about. Excuse me for the hiccups, and also what to expect out of the series. So, Anno 1800 is a game where you lead the Industrial Revolution, and you choose a path of being an innovator or exploiter, conqueror or liberator. And it is the May miniseries marathon, meaning I'm playing it just today. Some of the decisions will be left up to you through polling and names raffled off, raffle for more info. And then if you want details about this scenario, you can hit details, but you'll see me select it, so that won't be a surprise. Base game, no mods, no DLCs, and of course, as always, airs on YouTube. Right. Alright, so let's get started. As you can see, I don't own any of the DLCs, so we are just going to jump into a normal sandbox game. And I'm going to pick new guidance because I am a new player. So one of the things I should read in the details command is, in this marathon miniseries, I'll be playing Sandbox at normal difficulty with more guidance. It's going to be casual, sort of a beginner's plays with no backseating. If I'm looking for like help or feedback, I'll ask for it. And then if you have any questions you think I can answer, use the related channel point redemption. As you can see, I don't really have a lot of portraits unlocked, so we'll just pick one. Yeah, this person totally looks like a governor that wouldn't fleece you for everything that you're worth at the bar. So you know, he'll fit in. He's got a nice trilby too, so you know. This kind of looks like Yoda. I know it's supposed to be a cat, but this looks less like Yoda than the cat does, so... Hey, Yoda. How do you feel about that? We're good? Yeah, okay, there we go. Wow, I'll just pick my own name. Alright. And off we go. Glitch and Mahejo, thank you for the bits and the sub. The resub. Welcome.
I'm the observer.
So the game doesn't really let me like
when there is more than meets the eye,
pause and show the UI.
I will let you know.
But I'll give you the basic overview. Again, I'm a beginner at playing, so I don't know everything. But you've got your funds up here, your balance, which is like your income versus expenditures, population. I guess we're the Splittlefort. Man, that is a name. I'll probably change that to Yodaville. And then influence. And influence is built up with happiness and supporting investors, etc. Up here is your starting materials, so timber, steel beams, and you can also track other things if you want. Like if I wanted to track fish, I could just pin that in. I don't have any population on the island, and then this is progress towards the next sort of tier of city, so raising the attractiveness level, and then also like population to go from like quaint settlement to something bigger. Up here is the day cycle.
Every settlement needs a market.
Okay, shush.
The people want it.
And then time controls, and then down here we've got the minimap with the minimap filters. So if you want to filter out certain things like your harbors or your quests or your loads, etc. What sort of resources you have available on to you at your base island? So clay, iron, copper, limestone, oil sprigs. And then the world map. Oh, is it? Okay. The world map. So this is where I am in the world. The old world. Zoom back in. There we go. Diplomacy. you know, because I totally don't know anyone else, so that doesn't help. And then trade routes. Then the build tools with, like, you know, roads, houses, and things unlock as you get a larger population, etc. So let's do that. First thing that we're going to probably want to do is set up a marketplace. And a marketplace is so that people can buy the stuff they need to support their homes. So I think what I will do here is set up a road that goes back. I'm going to make sure that I'm not running into any rare resources, right? Because you wouldn't want to set your marketplace near your, like, iron or clay or something like that, because that would be a little weird. Plop it down there. And you can see the green road is where it's servicing effectively. And it's telling me to make sure that the residences near the marketplace are connected via roads. So next we will get some farmer residence, which is really, honestly, if you ask me, a bit of a misnomer, because your farmers don't farm. They're really just, like, villagers that they call farmers. I don't know why. What it is the way it is. So they all need road access to be able to access the marketplace.
I'm not going to say I didn't think it possible.
And then you can see up here, I have 10 farmers living here, all unemployed because I don't have any workplaces. So the farmers, if we mouse over it, they're going to want fish and work clothes. So let's work on that. And we're also, of course, going to want timber as well. So a lot of your industries should be somewhat separated from your housing, because the industries will require open space or generate pollution, things like that. Yeah, it is instant build, and I hate instant build games. Just full disclosure. Oh god, I really hate instant build games, but it is instant build for better or for worse. So that's just the way it is. So I'll put a little lumberjack hut back there, and they will cut down the trees around there. And I'm going to run a road back over to the marketplace here.
Our settlement is rather small. You will have to attract more farmers if you want to make progress.
Alright, so now we have a planting forest where they will plant and cut down trees, and then also a sawmill. And these work in like a 1-to-1 ratio, and then they drop stuff off at the warehouse. And warehouses have a finite amount of loading ramps, so if you have too many industries based off of too few warehouses, you're going to have a bottleneck. And I probably want to set up a multiple of these tree / lumber mill combos. So I will do just that. Get a second one out of here. And that leaves this area as sort of industry, because we also have clay deposits around there as well. Alright, we'll pop some more farming residences in. Also in these houses, as you'll be able to see, they have a certain amount of capacity. So right now they're only filled like 3 out of 13. So you want to build sort of in accordance with like how full they'll be around max, like more like 10, not 13. But yeah. And trying to keep the workforce in surplus.
Flagship at your service.
The other thing I just did was I had the flagship, which came in with wood and iron beams. Oh, did I just dump them into the water?
Sails!
I thought I used the whole command of, like, put them into the trading post. It'd be funny if I just dumped them into the water like I was having some sort of tea party. Hey, Ralph, thank you for the resub. Good morning to you.
Something's missing.
Alright, so planning is in progress, but these guys here are already chopping wood down. I picked this place, but it didn't really have a lot of trees around it, so there's a little bit of a lag time with whether, when they're going to be productive. Oh, another thing I'm going to mention is compared to like all other games of this type, there is the default commands probably need to be rewritten by you. Like for instance, there's no WASD and spacebar is not pause. Like for whatever reason, Ubisoft decided to throw out 30 years of gaming conventions and just like invent their own, and it really drove me up the wall when I started playing, because WASD were like to build specific buildings, and it like, awful. Don't know why they did that. All right, so let's add some fisheries so that we can supply fish to the lowest class, the farmers. And then eventually they're going to want work clothes, but as you can see, that unlocks when I hit 100 farmers. So it's going to be a minute. And they're also going to want schnapps, and that is part of their happiness. For happiness, they want schnapps and a pub. So schnapps is potatoes, and a pub is just a service building. But we'll get there once we hit 100 pub. And that's sort of the concept of the game. In a nutshell, is your population will demand certain things. As your population levels up, they go up in classes, and as they go up in classes, it becomes more complex about the things they want to be supplied with. The TLDR of all Anno games ever, in a nutshell. Alright, music, you're a bit too loud for me. I'm not gonna want orchestral eardrum ringing for hours, but thanks. Could be worse. If I could select 50. So one thing you're sort of aiming to do is to have a reasonable ratio of people working, right? Because you could just race to that 100 island pop for farmers, but if they're not actually working, then you're just feeding people for basically no benefit. So playing a little slow.
Flagship awaiting instructions.
Blow up the fishing vessel. Get it.
On our way.
So people are moving in. I am at 98 out of the 100 required for work clothes. So we're about to hit it. They haven't fully been supplied with fish, but that just could be a lag time of fish production.
A new milestone.
And we are now officially a village. So, the work clothes chain. Let me double check this production chain. Work clothes. That is a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay. So.
I always appreciate your help, however overdue.
Shut up, sister. Yeah, so let's set up a little sheep farm here then. So you put the farm down, but then it needs its pastures, which is like a little 3x3. That is really a terrible placement of that. Dreadfully inefficient. Let me try that again. And then the factory. And hopefully this warehouse will be able to support everything that I've hooked up to it. I don't know exactly the warehouse ratios off the top of my head, but you can upgrade them later on to support more industries. In worst case scenario, we can just move things around. But that was for work clothes. And then let's set up schnapps. It'd be great if you went away. All right, so Schnapps is a potato farm
to attract more farmers
and
if you want
distillery.
to make progress.
For this one, I think I am going to start it elsewhere, though. Based off of a different warehouse. No, I did not mean to... Oh, okay, that's just obnoxious. It's not where I wanted to put the road, but oh well. I'll just stick with it. So we know that there is eventually going to be a clay pit here. And I'm going to leave that alone for when we have clay and brick production. So the potato farm is somewhat like the pastures over there, but it's 72 individual smaller farm plots. So you can decide. One of the useful things for this thing is it can like fill in areas that would otherwise be near impossible to utilize.
Peddlers say there's no one.
Yeah, I know there's nowhere for you to bring it. All right, and then we have the distillery. What did the rebind the rotate to? Whatever, it doesn't need to rotate. And the warehouse. Actually, it's going to bother me. How to do the rotates? This is what I was getting at earlier, where every keyboard control is somehow uniquely different in this game than every other game. Okay, so period and comma are not too uncommon. If it would work. There we go. Okay, so now the farmers are getting their schnapps and work clothes, and then I have a little indicator up here that I have too many jobs for too few labor pools, so whoops, wrong building. We'll continue filling out housing. Nothing like happy little slum blocks, right? All right.
Rare for promises to be kept. Thank you. You people and your fancy ideas.
Oh yes, fancy ideas.
The people here need somewhere to drown their sorrows. A pub will fill this town with laughter. You honor this immortal.
Okay. So now we even have a pub for their happiness. So once things ramp up and production continues, they will have all of the needs and services that they require and become happier. So as you can see, the population is becoming happier, and that attracts more immigrants, which fills these houses, which then fulfills the work productivities of the, of the market. There's also fire risk, so we're going to need to build a fire station so that people's houses don't burn down. The first true service... Well, no, I would say the pub is a service too. Now, not all buildings have the same fire risk, so that's another thing. Right, I think the timber and lumber probably carries a greater fire risk than the houses themselves, but then the houses, of course, are the taxpayers. So juggling the two... I will try to put it down here so that maybe they can put out the lumber and timber mills, maybe, but we'll see. And if I need multiples, I can set up multiples. But like with all surfaces in the in this game, if you oversupply surfaces, it will cost you a lot in terms of balance. Hey Yoda, do you want some treats? Yoda had a very sleepy day this morning. He, like, just woke up. I'm a little envious. I got About half the sleep he did. Maybe a third. All right, taking a look at them. Market, fish, work clothes. Schnapps is not fully fulfilled, but it's 99% fulfilled. I suspect it just because we've gotten the labor force, it's probably going to be fulfilled without having to build another one. Let's see. Schnapps supports up to...
Now is the time to advance by settling the first workers.
600 farmers. So yeah, I don't need any more. All right. So once the farmers' needs are completely satisfied, you'll be able to promote them to workers. Find a residence that is ready, and then hit the upgrade. So it's this building here, or this button here, and that allows me to level them up, and that will offer me the ability to unlock the next tier of settler.
You reached a new milestone.
When we're industrializing. It's been like 5 days. Yeah, so we'll need sausages, bread, soap, schools, you know, the usual.
Honest
and then they
work,
have their own
that's
tab
all
down
we
here.
ask.
So the workers still require all the things that the farmers did, just they get added on requirements. So let's satisfy
Restore
them.
a grain of my trust in humanity, eldest.
I'm going to go with a pig farm. And this is a 1-to-1 ratio for the farm and slaughter housing. So there are the pastures, and then the slaughterhouse. This is in blueprint mode because I don't have bricks. So we're also going to want a clay pit for bricks. So here's the clay pit and the brick factory. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, so I figured go whole hog on the 2-to-1. One thing you're going to notice is, of course, I don't have a lot of workers, right, to fulfill those jobs, because these new work facilities are only filled with workers. They're not, well, okay. These facilities are filled with workers. So if I want to ramp up bricks, which is the next major building material, I'm going to need more workers, as you can imagine. So housing back here that is eligible for upgrades should be upgraded. And let's set up some more housing. And if you're wondering, you can't just go straight to building like worker housing. They have to fulfill the same upgrade chain as the farmer housing. So new houses are farmer housing. And then once you've made them happy, they become worker housing. So if you have like a labor shortage of really highly skilled laborers, it's going to take you a while to kind of fulfill them, unless you have a lot of houses ready to be upgraded. Liam, thank you for the sub, by the way, and Mindsteadle as well. Cheers to you both. Oops, those roads are too small. I wonder if I can relocate roads. I can? See, look, saving the taxpayer a little bit of money the most inefficient way possible. Sounds like every city council I've ever known. Hey, Sean, thank you for the resub too. How big is the map? So the island I'm on is not very big. You can see the extent of the island now. But then the world map is different. There are other areas and continents, and you. I think the intention is that you don't stay on your home map forever. No quest so far. Oh, well, here's one maybe.
Spare a thought for us?
Worker has something from you. It's a drill.
I'm only a cog. It's you what pulls the levers.
So they gifted me a drill, and that relates to the trade unions, I believe. So the some of the higher level buildings can have like aura of radius effects of trade unions. So I will set up a trade union over here. It's blueprinted because I don't have the timber or bricks for it, but I shall soon. I could also set up other timbering over here, I guess. I want to avoid the iron deposits, though, because I know eventually I'm going to want to build mines there. So there's not a lot of trees. I could put it back here, I guess. Curious how much. My guess is the warehouse over there probably can't support too much more. But there is a clay deposit over here. So what I could do is I could plan another offshoot like this. Oops. And then this can support the clay pit and the brick yards, and then also another sawmill. That'll do. All right, we have extra labor supply. Good. And in one more brick, I will be able to build the slaughterhouse, which should start supporting the workers with the sausage that they need.
What brings you here, Master?
So we're still a quaint village. And if I added some... Ooh, we have some vulgarity because of the pig farms. We could start trying to work on raising our attractiveness at some point as well. I first probably want to fulfill the workers' needs. Oh, we've got a fire.
Where are all me Midlands?
So here's the fire brigade, taking their sweet time. The people in the pub don't seem to care that houses are on fire. They're drunk, so, you know.
Fire runs wild. Fight this inferno fast.
The lady that was on fire was still content. Yeah, I hadn't reduced her amount of schnapps. So, you know, the schnapps might have actually been the cause of the fire. She got a little bit too, you know, schnappy and said it herself. So I can't upgrade these houses just yet because the fire's in the vicinity. Oh, and there's a gift here.
A little love is all
there's the drill.
ever wanted.
So this drill is equipped in the trade union, and oh, there goes the pop-up. It will increase the productivity. Once the trade union is built, I equip it in the trade union, and then the clay pits and I believe brickyards around become more efficient. Oh, she's telling me to do a trade union. Cool. I'm kind of already topping it, lady. Lady being my sister. Okay, fires are out. They just need to be resupplied a little bit with the fish and the work clothes, but the other houses in the block are going to get upgraded now.
You reached a new milestone.
And we are at Port Town. New milestone. So you got 238 farmers and 159 workers for a total of just shy of 400. The next population level is 750 workers, so that's quite a long way from where we are now. Doesn't yet look like these warehouses are backed up, which is good.
Not much in the way of common.
Alright, adding some more worker classes, and then I will lay out additional farmer housing. That's almost all the wood I have for now. Really? Another fire? No, I think it was just a bell. So the trade union needs 25 timber to build, so I'm going to wait until I hit the 25 after I complete the residences. Current priority is adding workers and supporting their needs, so let's see how I'm doing. Sausage is almost fully fulfilled. And then I haven't yet touched bread or a church, which is something I will add to them eventually. And then there's also a small harbor, and we can, you know, once we have need of harbor depots and harbor masters, I'll set them up, but that's not yet. And then sales for a sheep farm to sail makers if we want
for the Admiral.
trade ships and the like. This one's still in plan. Turning a positive balance. That's nice. The initial fish that I have supports up to 800. I'm at just shy of 500. Because that's another thing to keep an eye on is the needs that your people have as your population grows. You might end up needing more of the, sort of the initial infrastructure and to build duplicates there. Already on top of it.
Means a lot to ours.
So population and labor pool are pretty well balanced, I'd say now. Yoda likes streaming days. He gets extra pets.
We lack the requisite materials.
Yoda's lucky. Yeah, he does have a comfortable life. That I will admit.
Flagship awaiting instructions.
So the workers now have their sausage fully fulfilled. Any second now I'll get that trade union. I just need the 25 timber for it. There's a third clay deposit that I might hit as well. We'll see if I really need the brick. I probably will utilize it, but it's too soon to say. A lot of very sharp coasts here. Yeah, it's telling me depots are useful when it comes to expanding island capacity. I'm nowhere near my capacity maxes. I mean, I'm somewhat close for fish, but like, who cares? Fish is not one of those resources that needs to be stockpiled like building materials, because you don't all of a sudden need to use up an influx of fish. Unionize. All right, so here we go. Equipping a drill. So this will affect the production of clay pits. So the clay pit here will benefit, and its production will go up by 25%. It also benefits oil wells, limestone quarries, bauxite mines, helium extractors, sand mines, and saltpeter works, but I don't have any of those, so we might as well give it to this clay pit. Warehouses are like all perfectly interconnected with one another, so I don't think they really need to exchange anything. Basically, through teleportation, video game mechanic magic, people bring stuff to the warehouses, and the warehouses just like instant poof it to every other warehouse simultaneously. There's not a lot of transportation infrastructure needed, as far as I know. Of course, I'm a beginner into the game, but I haven't noticed that wagons go from warehouse to warehouse. They just magic it. I think it somewhere in the tooltips it tells you that, or in the the loading screen info. All right, let's do bread. So bread is a 2-grain farm to 1 flour mill to 2 bakery ratio. And I would say this is probably, these 2 warehouses are the most underutilized. But what I might end up doing is set it up elsewhere a little further out. Because there's going to be a lot of pop required to support these industries anyway. Let's go back to small warehouse and...
Check copy?
Oh, we have our first newspaper.
To meet our patron is utterly humbling. If there is anything I can do...
So I settled my first
really,
island, and that brings 5 happiness. People are happy, so riot chance goes down by 50%. And I set up a trade union, so happiness goes up as well. I will allow you to publish that.
To be true to
Your glorious leader. Oh, yeah. You know what? Maybe I'll put it over here. Oops. I totally didn't mean to put that second one there. So this is 144. And I'm trying not to encroach too heavily on the steel. I might need to move some plots later on. Or the iron, rather.
You need a warehouse, you do.
Yeah. Stop, sister. Stop.
farm. With no fee.
Yeah. So I'm going to totally smother that iron node, and I'll fix it later in post. Once that becomes a relevant needed. This warehouse I'm going to upgrade to a medium one so it can support more businesses, because obviously I've just added 2 farms and I'm going to be adding a flour mill and bakeries attached to it as well. Do bakeries have a... Okay, yeah, bakeries have a... I might want to put my bakeries closer to where the houses are. Thank you so very much for watching Anno 1800, which originally streamed live on Twitch May 13th as the May miniseries marathon. Because it was a marathon, I don't intend to return to the game, which means I am not looking for help or feedback in the comments. If you would like to join my gaming community and be a part of the process to vote on the miniseries and also the games that I play, Rhadamant.com or the description of this video have a link to that. If you would like to become one of my Patreon patrons, it also has a link to Patreon as well. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, those that came out for the miniseries marathon, and viewers like you that made it all the way to the credits and support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing with your friends. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell,